have some weird sounds here today. I don't know what's going on.
Hey. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
I can't hear myself.
I still feel like my voice is not back to 100%. Danna can't hear herself.
I don't hear anything.
Well, now I can't hear anything. What happened? There we go.
I don't know. Hello?
That's better.
Okay, now
You can hear yourself
good.
now.
Yes.
I still feel like I'm not 100% with my voice.
I agree. I mean, you're close, but you're not 100%.
And let's just say that you never got sick.
So I'm pretty sure I'm getting it.
Well, not for me.
No,
you wouldn't get it
no.
that.
No. But yesterday morning I woke up and I started to feel it. So I have been every 3 hours like clockwork taking Zicam.
In the middle of the night?
No, I've been sleeping. I guess I shouldn't say like clockwork. While I'm awake, I've been taking every 3 hours these rapid melts, and I even like at work I have an alarm set on my phone, and I just needed to like stave it off or like keep it off until Thursday.
I feel like I've said several times, I feel like I was drowning. I really do think we had a form of pneumonia. It's going around.
I do as well, and I'm pretty sure you should have had an antibiotic.
No, so I read about it, and you don't have to have an antibiotic. Like some people do.
You're right, you don't.
But
have
like
to.
most physicians won't give it to you if it's a certain culture of it. So I really do feel like if I was really, let's just clarify this. I do think we have a great medical system. If I really needed to go to the doctor, like I did the one time that they never drove me to the ER, like I would go. I just don't feel like I didn't feel bad enough. Everybody else just unfortunately had to endure. I don't think you needed to go to the ER,
but I do think you probably should have been seen by a doctor.
I don't feel like I feel bad everybody had to endure my hacking, but the hacking was productive.
But it would have maybe been like fixed sooner.
I don't think so.
Okay. We're going to agree to disagree.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that they would have probably, or they could have given me maybe steroids, which you don't have to take.
No, but that would have helped you. Like, well, who wants to feel bad for longer?
But I didn't feel bad. You just all had to listen to me cough.
But you did feel bad. And then
only for one day.
And then like, what, are you the hero here because you've now infected everybody else around you?
No, but I never infected anybody but my husband.
People. We just don't know them all.
I don't think if anyone was getting sick, it would have been you.
This is true. I honestly do not know how I did, but I do think I'm starting to come down with this light cold, but I am like really trying to fight it off. Like I've got to get through Thanksgiving, and then I don't care what happens after that. If I got to take a couple days off of work because I'm sick, I got to take a couple days off of work, and I will deal with it at that point. But I got to get through Thanksgiving. So I'm just all the vitamin
the bird.
C. This is big news in my house. So we had a Friendsgiving this past weekend, and this is the first time I've ever cooked a turkey completely by myself. Tom helps a lot of the time. He will, just help with seasoning and everything like that. And this was the first time that I took this on 100% by myself. To be clear, he also made a turkey. He made a fried turkey. Mine was better. But like we had 2 birds and it was so good. It was the best. It was probably one of the best turkeys I've ever had. And so now this Thursday, my mother-in-law for Thanksgiving, my mother-in-law always comes over and we host, and she always comes over early in the morning and we cook all day together. And she was like, well, how was the turkey? And Tom was telling her like that it was so good and it came out really good. And she's like, well, then if you just make the turkey, if Danna
it
just
came
makes the
good.
turkey,
that's what your families like to say.
We say it came good. If the turkey came good, then I don't need to come over that early, and I could just come later and make the mashed potatoes, and I'll like bring the stuffing, and we just won't do the stuffing in the bird because we don't really care if the stuffing's in the bird. So I was like, okay. And I said to Tom, I cannot believe she is entrusting me.
She totally trusts you.
This is a huge deal that she is trusting me with the bird. Like I'm blown away.
Maria gives Danna the bird.
That is the name of this podcast. So we are having.
I don't know. It came good is also good.
Also inappropriate and dirty. But we have 2 birds. So Tom will fry one again, and we'll do mine. But I am telling you.
So where are you going to get your goods to brine this bird? You better source up to the dealer and ask if you can have the goods.
About that.
So Danna said she's cooking this bird and she's going to do a brine. I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. We always brine our turkey too. I love it.
I've never brined a turkey.
And we talked about, will the gravy be salty? How was your gravy?
It was not salty at all.
It was not salty.
Excellent.
So anyways, so I'm like, oh, well, I can give you my brine recipe. And I also have phosphate, which is a meat tenderizer that I get from the meat lab at Ohio State.
I'm like, what the heck is the meat lab? Like, who the hell goes to a meat lab?
It's where they test all kinds of new things at Ohio State.
I didn't know this existed.
It does.
Listen,
Every
before
major
I met you, I
land grant university
went
has
to the grocery
one.
store. I bought my meat and I came home. I didn't care about where it came from. I didn't question where it came from. I just ate what was put in front of me.
That's great, actually. Now you question where it came from?
Kinda.
Oh, no. I don't know. We're having the reverse effect on you.
Well, but I like to know now where my food comes
It's
from.
fun. So anyways, this is a meat tenderizer basically. And so I have a little stash of it. And so
Can I get some more?
I dealt her out some white powder,
Yeah, literally.
which I sent her, this is actually funny. I sent her a picture of the recipe, and the recipe breakdown has it for like a 15-pound bird up to a 30-pound bird. And then from there, you have to do the math. But I sent it to her and she's like, how much, like, what do I need and how much? I'm like, I literally just sent you the recipe. So I have to like zoom in.
She's such a snot. I literally I asked. All she
You
had to
must not
say.
even have looked at it.
I didn't. All she had to say was, "It's in the text above," or something like that.
So I
But
just
instead,
screenshotted it and
she
like
was
honed
so
in.
freaking snarky.
I
and,
wasn't. I just thought maybe she can't read it.
maybe.
Anyways, but it's very simple.
It
Like
was
it's not
so
even
easy.
complicated.
It was excellent. Now, the only thing I think I will do this next time that I wish I would have done this time is I am going to put a big old garbage bag in that
your
cooler.
in your cooler. Yeah.
Yes, because we did have to clean out and bleach out the cooler afterwards.
Yeah.
So I will put a garbage bag in this time because who wants to do that?
No, that's gross.
Yeah, it was gross.
And you're not supposed to rinse your bird either. So remember
this is a big
that.
controversial topic, and I have done a lot of research on this.
Don't
past
rinse
week.
your bird.
Do not rinse your bird, like for multiple reasons. But one, there's no reason; it's not necessary.
And you're spreading more bacteria.
Yes, that's what everyone's like. Oh, you need to clean the bird. First of all, you're cooking off any bacteria. If you're cooking your bird to temperature,
The proper temperature, which is
165, you are cooking off any bacteria that's already on the bird. All you've done at this point is spread that bacteria all around your sink in your kitchen. So good job, but that's gross. So do not rinse your bird.
so you can pat your bird off. I like to pat off, especially when you brine it. If you're not brining it, it doesn't really matter. But I like to, well, unless you're frying your turkey, and then you
definitely
really
have
must
to dry it. Yes.
do not put a bird with lots of water on it in the fryer.
That would be
you will
bad.
get a surefire visit.
From the fire department. Fire visit.
Yes.
From the fire department.
So who needs the Butterball hotline when they have us?
They have us. We can teach you all the
So
things.
that's actually something that I'd like to do. Can you imagine me with my little headset sitting
You would be
there?
so cute.
And I would like push the button to answer all the phone calls. It'd
Another
be
new
really
tip
good.
that I tried and it came out so beautifully is I saw it on TikTok and apparently you saw like on Instagram Reels or something the same thing. But if you melt, like I think I melted a pound of butter, which I did not need to melt.
You didn't need a whole pound. You had a little bird.
Yes, I did. So I think if you have a larger bird, you would benefit from a full pound, but I probably could have done like a half a pound. So you melt a half pound of butter. I just did it in a Pyrex measuring cup. And then I took cheesecloth and I cut it up into multiple pieces.
Which have you ever used cheesecloth before?
I never have used cheesecloth.
Wait, you cut it up?
So
Why didn't you use one?
Because I layered it like over and it wasn't like, so I layered it in all different spots and like, so that it was covered in the whole.
Okay, you didn't have enough of mine.
No, the way that it wouldn't have been like long enough. I don't think. So I cut it and then just put like a few layers over it, so anyways, you put the buttered cheesecloth over the bird and you bake the bird in with the cheesecloth on it. And then the recipe that I had found said you did not need to take the cheesecloth off, but I did take it off with about an hour left. Yeah. I took it off with an hour left because I wanted to crisp up the skin a little more, but it was so good. It was, I hate using this word, but it really was the moistest.
Was it juicy?
It was so juicy.
How are your drippings?
My drippings were great.
They made a lot of fun of me because I was talking about turkey.
It was so dirty.
And it wasn't. I was talking about how to make a moist, juicy
were
bird.
Your moist dripping, were your drippings moist? I'm like, bleh.
I didn't say were your drippings moist. Of course, those were wet.
Okay, that's better.
I said, was your bird will be juicy and
All right.
moist. No,
Yep.
that's the worst thing about
it's
turkey.
better than your cat being juicy and moist, I guess.
Gosh, this is not an X-rated broadcast. Listen,
That was inappropriate.
my cat is so mad at me.
Stop. I don't know where this is going.
I have to tell you about my cat. So my cat, Scarlet, this cat, she's now indoor, outdoor. And so we're obsessed with cleaning ears. So Campbell thought her ears were dirty. So she's like, Mom, you need to clean her ears. So I cleaned her ears, but she was angry, if you can imagine that. And then I'm like,
Yeah, she's a freaking feral cat that you guys are just cleaning its ears. Of course she's mad at you.
she is not feral. And she's very nice.
She was feral.
She was feral. We rescued her. So anyways, she, I like gave the all of them their front line and like did all the things. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to have you guys smell really good. So Essence Maker, which is my skincare local company in Chesterland, who is amazing. You should look at her website. They also make a cat and dog spray, like an animal spray.
Oh, really?
Which I have for the dogs. So every once in a while I make them sit there as I spray them, and I really like the spray bottle.
This is so funny. We just did this the other day with our dogs because we have it's not Essence Maker, but it's like it's made from like essential oils and stuff. I'm sure it's similar. And we sprayed our dogs with it.
Yeah, I love it. They smell so good. So I thought, oh, I bet Scarlett would like this too. So I sprayed her and she looked at me and like jumped and hissed. She was so angry. So in the last 2 days, I've given her clean ears, front line, and sprayed her, which she does not like.
She's pissed.
She's probably going to sleep on my head today.
One of our dogs loved getting sprayed.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's probably Ozzy.
It was Ozzy.
Ozzy takes all the attention.
Hated it. The other one hated it. So we're very mad at our dogs right now because every time we leave the house, they are tearing something apart. And we can't figure out which one it is. We think we know.
Millie.
We think it's Millie. We think it's Millie. Today,
she's probably angry because nobody's here.
But
that's why our dogs are mad.
So wait, to be clear, Olivia stayed home from school. She had a fever last night. So she stayed home from school today.
Because they had to stay up late.
Fine. I think she was just like overtired.
Our band performed at the Cavs game halftime show.
Was so cool. But so she came home, she had a fever, she went to bed, woke up this morning totally fine.
What time did they get home? Was it like 11:45?
It was 11:30 or so.
Because Campbell came in to tell me she was home, which I really appreciate. So we had a very, very brief conversation, which consisted of, I can't even talk, consisted of her telling me that Olivia has a fever of 101 and where is the silver because she's really got to drink it.
Because she was with her the whole time. Yes.
Yeah. So we drink silver in our house. Like colloidal silver, and so I drink a teaspoon every morning. It literally tastes like water.
I don't know that this.
It tastes like water. It has no taste, but you hold it under your tongue for 30 seconds and then you swallow it. And so Campbell's been doing it. So 1 teaspoon just boosts your immune system, but if you're questioning whether you're going to get sick, you drink 7. Like throughout the day, you're supposed to drink it.
I'm literally reading that.
So anyway, so she was like, "Where's the silver? I need to drink my silver." So
it might actually.
Anyways, but look it up. It is legit.
It might be legit. So anyways, so she stayed home today. So the dogs were home with her, and all of a sudden she was like napping, and she sent a text. One of the dogs ate one of our filters that goes in our pool vacuum.
Where'd they get that from?
Out of like in our mudroom.
So they got into it.
Which ironically, Tom had even closed the mudroom door, and they somehow got into the mudroom. Yeah. They took stuff off.
They're
his
really
desk.
angry at you.
Yeah, we cannot figure out what's going on. It is so bad.
Have you been giving them their pumpkin? Oh, see,
that's what it is.
That's probably
Ever
it.
since we started that.
They're not getting their pumpkin.
Okay, so my father-in-law bought this Fresh Pet, which I
very
call
expensive dog food.
Yeah, and like this is baloney.
They're
we don't
bougie.
Need this. Our dogs live on Costco.
But Sandy's buying it, and he loves those dogs.
It's just a pain in my butt to me. So meanwhile, though, I think there's something to this. Think about it, Tom.
Okay, Tom, give them the pumpkin and see if they act up.
It has only been since we started that, and they have been acting out. Okay, but admit it that a time frame is the same.
So give them the pumpkin tonight and see what they do tomorrow.
I was going to say something else, and I don't remember.
Well, this is the same conversation as so we have not. This is bad. Don't judge me, anybody. We have not spayed our cat yet. So she is now a year.
There's going to be more feral cats.
No, but she's a year and 6 months
listen
old.
To what's his name from The Price is Right, Bob Barker?
Well, I know you should spay and neuter your pets, but listen to my logic. So she came to us and she was like 6 months old. We've had her for a year and actually now like 2 months. She was super skinny. Cats sniff other cats out. I told Bill, I think that she is not able to reproduce. So I'm like, we're going to get her fixed. But I'm like, listen, if she was like, couldn't breed, I wouldn't pay to have her neutered. I mean, just have her spayed. So Bill thinks my logic is weird, but I honestly think that if she was capable, she would have already been knocked up like multiple times.
So do you think she needs like in vitro? Like, where are you going? Like,
no, my whole point was, I'm not sure if we should pay to have her spayed because I think she might be fine. Like not fertile.
She's not fertile.
Because I think she really would have been bred. Well, I mean, I know, and the way we go through cats, we kind of need them. So anyways, but people love kittens. So they take those things like hotcakes around Patterson Fruit Farm. So I don't know, but we haven't had kittens, and I'm convinced Bill doesn't think my logic is.
I agree with Bill. This is famous last words.
So, but why has she not been bred?
I don't know, Kristin. I don't know. Maybe because now you have her in the house half the time. So you just knocked
Well,
her
that
chances
might be true.
down 50%.
I don't have her in the house. Let's be very clear. I don't do litter boxes, but the cat, Bill still swears she's letting herself in and out.
Yeah, so that's another thing. You don't do litter boxes. So where is this cat peeing and pooping?
Do you know that a cat pees and poops only twice a day? That's all they do. So she lets herself out. Every morning she comes out of one of the kids' rooms. She goes out the front door with the dog. She stays out for a couple hours, kills a couple things, brings it back, comes in for her afternoon nap on my sheep pelt. She probably sleeps there all day. And then she goes out and parties.
Time out. Back it up. On your what?
My wool pelt.
What's a pelt?
A sheepskin.
What? I swear to God, I don't know what a pelt is.
Okay, that white fuzzy thing that's on the ottoman by our fireplace.
Oh, okay.
That came from a sheep.
I thought it was like a rug.
It is kind of a rug. They could be a rug, but sheep were kind of small.
I never knew what that was.
Yes. Anyways. So.
Huh?
Goats?
Oh, no goats.
No
Ew,
goats.
God, no.
Oh, I'm with you. I don't like goats. Goats are great. Lots of people like goats. I do not like goats.
I'm not one of them.
We have lots of friends. Our friend Catherine, she raises lots of goats.
That's great for her.
She does goat yoga.
That's fantastic for her. I have zero interest in
So
that.
I have to tell you about our weekend before we forget. So we were in Louisville. We got home from that. We talked about all of that. Jack, our cowboy.
Oh, you do have to talk about
has
this.
taken up bull riding. So he went to this camp in Medina. So he had ridden 3 bulls. To ride a bull, you have to buy all the equipment, obviously, to protect your noggin, to protect your heart, to protect your face, like all the things.
This is the first, even on his first try, you have to buy all of this.
Right,
you have to
so you're
place
in
this investment.
You're in $1,500 before you, because
Before
I want to
you've
ride a
touched
bull.
Right.
So he has birthday, Christmas. He's asked for all these things. And bull riding is cool, right? I like to go to a rodeo. I just don't want my kid doing it. So Jack has signed up for this Garwood Arena, which everybody should check it out. It's in Columbiana, and it is near the Canfield area. This is a beautiful facility, amazing horse facility. They have lots of horse shows, very lovely. So Jack is going to ride this bull on Friday night. He gets to ride a bull on Friday night and a bull on Saturday night. And so I said, I felt really weird, Jack. We're going to a livestock event and we don't even have a trailer or an animal. We're literally showing up to a horse show. We don't even have an animal. He's like, I know, it's weird. But he's got his big bull riding bag. He's got his cowboy hat. He's got his pressed shirt, which I had to starch unbuttoned, 5 buttons down with his chest hanging out. And I'm rolling my eyes at this because every bull rider does it. Just look it up on the internet and you'll see. So Friday night went fine. I think he was on there for 2 seconds. It was suspenseful, but it was fun. He was good. We had a great time. We drove an hour and a half back. Saturday, we had to drive separate because Campbell had basketball. And our good friends came over who show sheep and live 30 minutes away. And she actually, I've talked about her before, but she is an OBGYN. And so she's a doctor, right? So we're oh, if anything goes wrong, Jen, I'm glad you're here. And so Jack rides his bull in the chute. This bull rears up. I have it on my Instagram if you want to check it up.
Liv was there and she sent me a video and you can see, and she was quite far away.
The back of the chute is padded, if that tells you anything, because this obviously happens when the bulls are trained, they oftentimes get excited, and it's not when they cinch them either that it happens. It's they're ready to go. And so it's just an instinct. I feel he got a PBR bull at the Garwood Arena. Not even really, but that's what I'm oh my gosh, this bull is not going to be easy. So Jack's reared up, his, head hits the back of the chute and they're calming him down. And then they give him the hand signal, to go. And he goes. And it was going great. I'm recording, I'm cheering. And then all of a sudden, he falls off. And then you'll fall off every time. But the bull just didn't seem to get away from him. And his coach kind of said, Jack, you're supposed to roll away. Right. But I think when this is all happening, you don't know.
And it's split second.
And he didn't know when it was happening that he was getting trampled by this bull. He has a hole in his butt from in the jeans of the bull from its horn. And so they thought he broke his ankle. So they get him out of there. You know, he stands up and walks. Everybody's cheering at this point because it was rough to watch. And so I sat there really cool like a cucumber. And I look at my friend Jen. It had been a couple minutes. And she's like, so when are you going over there? I'm like, well, you know, I don't want to be that mom that like goes over there and like checking on her kid. So I'm like, we'll let him like be cool. And he's sitting over there with his ankle up. We get over there and they're like, he's like, hey, Kristin, look at my ankle. Like he's on, you know, endorphin overload. Like this is, of course, his shirt is still unbuttoned. And he's like smiling.
Showing all of his chest hair.
All of his chest hair out to be seen. And so we're standing there and this boy, I mean, I'm going to say boy, and we're going to go over because it's worth it. This boy walks up who, of course, had his shirt unbuttoned as well and his little curly hair, but not nearly as cute as Jack. This is Jack's thing. Jack is cute. I mean, I might be related, but he is a cute kid. And he's like, hey, talking to, I don't know, me, Jack, Bill, all of us standing there. My old lady's over there and her girlfriend thinks you're cute and would like to have your number, which is only funny because I feel like now they don't ask for numbers. It's like, can I have your snap code?
Right.
So anyways, and I'm like, old lady. And I look over, I'm like, I don't see a mom. That's what I'm thinking. And he's kind of talking to me, like looking at me and Jack.
To be clear, this is a teenager.
He's 17 years old. Yeah. His old lady was his girlfriend who's like 16 and his old lady's girlfriend was 15, but she thought Jack was cute. So you can imagine, it made like, he's literally, his ankle might be broken. He's getting girls snap codes. I have a picture of two phones, like they're exchanging information. She is actually really cute. And so then they wrapped it and iced it and they headed to the urgent care. It was not broken. It was just bruised. And actually, frankly, with ice and elevation right away, he doesn't even have a bruise. Like it's kind of crazy when he got to ER.
Very fortunate.
Very fortunate. So, but I was kind of his wingman for him because Campbell and Olivia were around. Like I was around, Josie was around, and like Josie's going to go to medical school. And so she was like checking it out, wrapping it up. So I see them talking about this, like the girls are like, psst, psst. So when I'm walking by, I said, hey guys, I kind of waved and they kept talking. I'm like, hey, just FYI, it's his sister. So I told Jack, Kim was like, Mom, I can't believe you did that. And the girl was like, oh, thanks. That was helpful. And Campbell's like, Mom, you're so embarrassing. I'm like, oh, believe me, Jack's not going to think that's embarrassing.
No, he'll be glad.
So he's like, you're really looking out for me. So he's fine. But yeah, we get to do this apparently once a month for like the next 4 months.
Are you serious?
Not kidding you. Not kidding you. So there's a final rodeo that if you ride long enough, you qualify, which he did ride for 5.5 seconds.
Which is a long time.
Which was a long time until the darn bull knocked him off. So anyways.
Right. Well,
it was big fun. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thanksgiving.
So much to be thankful for. Until next time, friends, we're mismatched.